So Steve, I mean, let's just talk about the different ways that we can use technology these days, because technology has made it possible for us to monitor ourselves, to get a handle on our health, on our optimal body, either whether it's productivity, whether it's energy usage, whether it's weight control, whether it's what you eat and drink, all of those things, just general health. There are obviously ways now that we can use technology to short circuit a lot of the things that before were not really that easy to measure. You'd have to go to the doctor, or you'd have to go to a laboratory or a clinic. Now, many people have, these watches on that give them heart rate and breathing information and information about sleep.
Yeah. Well, look, I think let's take a bit of a step back, and I think everybody needs to hear, the audience needs to hear, is we're losing the battle against chronic disease. If we look at the numbers, living in a modern world, and I'm not saying living on a farm, eating organic vegetables and walking outside, getting 10,000 steps and being labor intensive and the communities all around you. I'm talking about living in a modern world. If we look at that, we're losing the war against chronic disease. It's exponentially increasing. Whether the stats are in South Africa here, which shows that people over the age of 50, those that are over the age of 50, 80% of them have hypertension, high blood pressure. So we are losing this battle. If you look at the States, and here, in terms of modernity, the number one killer is heart disease. That's not changing. Cancer is a close second. Neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, these are chronic diseases that are increasing, and we are getting far sicker far earlier. So things have to change. And that's sort of my mission, my mandate, is how do we bring change so that the next generations and the future generations are not as sick as the people are. We think we're living longer, but actually longevity in modern worlds, and this has been shown in the US data, has decreased even before COVID for 3 years in a row. So why do we need technologies? If we want to carry on living in modern times, we need to make sure that we're going to start measuring sooner. Now, obviously, subjective data is important in terms of how you feel, what you look like, what people say about you. But the data points that we're getting now are significantly important in terms of our health and our wellness. We need to look at things like Apple's, the new Apple Watch is going to give you a live glucose, blood test. You're going to see what's happening to your glucose. There are wearables now that are going to be able to give you a live blood pressure reading. So these are very, very important because we've realized that these numbers are going in the wrong direction due to lifestyle. So when we talk about hacks, we're talking about hacks because if you want to carry on living in these cities with the pollution, with the toxicity, with the electromagnetic radiation, with Bluetooth devices, with being more sedentary, with sitting behind computers and devices, which means you're getting less exercise. If you're going to want to live here, then I think you're going to have to tap into the new biotech, the new wearables, and make sure that you take personal accountability of your health. I mean, if anyone takes anything from this show, your health is your accountability. You take personal accountability. Unfortunately, what's happened, the narrative is, Gareth, is that we've given the accountability to our medical professionals, to our doctors who are brilliant in their own right, but they spend 10, 15 minutes with you. You need to take ownership of your health and understand why it's so important. Because without your health, and hopefully the pandemic has showed, without your health, it's really problematic.